Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world. You
in
already
the
know
world.
that though.
You
Good
already know that.
morning.
That's why you're here. So glad to have you with us. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We would love to get your feedback as well. So go ahead and let us know how you feel about the show through the comment section. We appreciate that. And if you are new to the show, it's very interactive. So you're gonna see occasionally comments popping up on the screen like this one from OTTO, which says peace and blessings, family. Oh man, you've been missed, brother. Thank you so much for
Yes,
being in
yes.
the. Thank you for so much for dropping up by this morning. You have been missed severely.
Blessing us with your presence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Oh man. So we normally this is a family affair, y'all. If you're new to this is a family affair. So definitely let us know where you're tuning in from if you're brand new. We have a lot of conversations, a lot of things to talk about this morning. But like always, we like to talk about how the weekend is going. What up, Dimitri? Dimitri's in the building. Let's go, guys. Keep pushing. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. We got Mitch in the building. Yo, what up, Mitch? Good to see you, sir, as
What up?
always.
What up?
All right, we got people coming in, so we appreciate that for sure. And I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, man. I hope you had a wonderful one. If you can hear my voice, I was up way too late. This is part of my weekend. I was telling Trey before the show, I was like, I found this show on Netflix called Supercell, and
It
I
got you.
ended up semi binge watching it. And then I looked at the time. I was like, "Oh man, I got the show in a couple hours. Let me just take a nap. I
Man,
gotta, I got to get some rest before the show." But it got me hooked in a little
that's how
bit. I
it
ain't gonna
got you.
lie,
That's
it got
hilarious.
me.
That's the enemy right there, man. The enemy tried to keep you up.
Oh, I'm gonna go back to sleep after this for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Wrapping up my
yeah.
paternity leave. This is my semi last week before I head back into work. So appreciated the time, but it's always good to get back to the grind and to do a lot of good stuff. It was a good weekend. It was a good weekend,
Yeah.
my friend. Besides binge watching the show, I got up and oh, what up? We got simple. We Let's stop the presses. We got Simple Logic in the building. Greetings from Chester,
Hey,
Virginia. Thank you for
good
rocking with
morning.
us to the show. I'm glad that you're rocking with us and you're here. It's exciting times. I definitely appreciate that. Um, but yeah, that was pretty much it for me this weekend. It was a good time. I enjoyed my time. I'm trying to remember. My son's birthday is today, so
Hey,
he's
happy
getting a
birthday.
happy birthday to you. Yeah, he's getting a little bit older. So I definitely made a little cake for him. I don't have an official one, but sometimes you want to do something a little special for the little one. So I made a little cake
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
Yeah, so I did that and pretty much just kind of helped, it was a kind of low key weekend overall because again we had the baby and just trying to how do I say it? Just trying to just, maintain right
Navigate
now. Navigate. This
the
Friday
duties.
though, I forgot to mention this before I pass it to you. This Friday, I had a great time. What we ended up doing was we ended up going to an event, Afrotech
Yeah.
executives. They had that event. I'm going to probably create a video about that later this week. So stay tuned to that. If you're not, go ahead and subscribe to Tech These Tips, my channel, for that video. When it drops, I'll let you know exactly. Uh, you know, I won't let you know exactly when because I'm still editing it. But once I'm
Yeah.
done, it's gonna be dropping. So that was it for
Let us
me.
know.
Great weekend. It was a good time. What about you, Trey?
Yeah, bro. It was pretty solid weekend, man. It's just here in Texas, so it was blazing, scorching. The sun was here. So yeah. Outside of that, Friday, I really can't remember what was going on Friday, but Saturday, man, I went in and played some golf. But like I said, it was hot, so I did 9 holes, man, and then I got my butt out of there. So I paid for 18, but right at the halfway point, man. You know how you basically you come into the field house, and I went out the back door. I was like, all right, y'all, y'all can have this. It's too hot. But after that, though, I actually really the main reason I left is I had told my goddaughter that I would pick her up because she wanted to come over, and so yeah, I went and picked her up, and we just had a good time. Watching movies, eating food. That's our main deal there. Sunday went to church and had an evening service as well that day. So or yesterday, so did that and got ready for today and this week so that I could knock it out the park, man. Um, but outside of that, that was pretty much the weekend, man. Did I mention it was hot? It
You
was
did.
blazing. And
You can say it again though.
like, yeah, man, because you know what it is? I think it's because I'm not used to being outside like that anymore. And so just being out there, I was just like, golly, it is hot. But yeah, it's gonna be hot the rest of the week. I probably won't be out there much, over 100 all week. So I won't be out
Nice.
there.
Nice. Hey man, I want to just shout out to Instagram, Daniel Tokes 307. Thank y'all for stopping by to the show. We definitely
Appreciate y'all.
appreciate you, those on our IG watching. And you mentioned something about family, having your goddaughter over. That
Yep.
was a big topic of conversation this week because of the
Really.
NBA draft that came up. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh.
Bronny James being selected 55th overall pick. To put it in,
Yeah.
to conceptualize that, Patty Mills was drafted at that stage, and Etuan Moore, if you watch basketball, was drafted at that stage, and a few others. But some people felt like nepotism had a part to play in that, and they really did feel like, hey, some people at least felt like it was wrong for the young man to be drafted at 55th, and to put it in, to
Mm.
conceptualize that for people, 55th is pretty much the bottom of the second draft, the last part of the draft, because only 60 picks, and some people were upset about that. Some people felt like nepotism was in play, but that's a good topic for us to start off with
I
as we
love it.
break off this day. Is because I had a question for y'all. Do you think nepotism is wrong? I wanted to know your thoughts on this one. Is
Run
nepotism
it up.
wrong?
Run it up in the chat. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, is nepotism wrong? Um, Trey, let me ask you that first. Let me get your thoughts before we get the congregation
Yeah, bro.
joining us.
No. N-O with a capital and an exclamation point. That's what you do it for. like it makes me laugh when I see it because I'm like, y'all don't even understand. You don't understand. That's what you're doing it for. You have these people that
Mm,
I'm doing this for my legacy. I'm doing this for my family. I want to leave a legacy for them and all this stuff. You talking it,
yeah.
but you like what do they call it? You're speaking in forked tongue when you say stuff like, or you mad at stuff like this with Bronny James being picked because that's what you do it for, is to be
Mm,
able to say, hey, I want to give you a pathway and a leg up in this life that I had to go through because it wasn't given to me, right? Like most of us, especially in this community, like what, uh, 3 generations removed from slavery and stuff like that, 3 or 4, 2 or 3, 2 to 4, I don't know, depends on who you are and what you're watching, but it's not that far. And so for a lot of us who are just not getting into the knowledge of what it takes to be able to, do those type of things that you want to do for your children, man, let this man do what he do. Now, all I would say is, um, if you are Bronny in that position, take it and run with it. Now, what you
mm,
don't want is what you really don't want is to be said that, oh man, he was he didn't do anything with it, right?
yeah.
But ultimately, that's what you want to do for your children. I know if I can, I am, like, all day, every day, and I don't care what nobody says. If you're mad, go to church. Nah, but for real though, if you're mad, just think about your own life and think about what you would want for your children. And that's really what you want. You want to give them a chance. You want to give them an opportunity. Now, what they do with it is up to them. But ultimately, that's what you want to do. And he did it in the highest form. Um, you know, so I don't care what they say. Nepotism is okay. If you don't like the game, what is it? No, no. Just don't be a hater. Don't be mad at the game. Play it.
Yeah, man. I totally agree. And Daniel says amen on Instagram. Uh agrees as well. I
Appreciate you,
think
Daniel.
the way I look at it is like this. I look at the whole picture first of all. Uh, to answer the question, is nepotism wrong? I don't believe it is, because a lot of what we see or experience has been through nepotism. In fact, to take it just make it a bit broader, they always say it's not about what you know, but who knows you.
Speak on it.
And so we see this in all sorts of careers, in all sorts of areas, and it's not like he wasn't a basketball player before, but we have to also put in account like how much things he went through prior to actually playing. So some people we know, he had cardiac arrest. He basically his heart stopped, and he was recovering and bouncing back from that. And then once he had to take some time to do that, yeah, his stats in college didn't necessarily match. But thinking about how he did at the combine, thinking about how he did in other areas, he definitely was able to stand out. And Chris, thank you for joining us on IG, by the way. Shout out to you. But yeah, like he was able to really kind of show himself or prove himself in different scenarios. And so it's one of those things where it's uh, like Tokes 307 says on IG, he says, Brian has to prove himself. Uh, yeah, I think that's a level. There's a level of that as well. But in different situations, he definitely was able to show himself to be like, hey, I could hang with you guys. It's gonna take him some time to adjust. But I'm thinking about nepotism now. That's just Bronny's situation, but nepotism on a whole, it's not something new. A lot of these companies, they're building things for their last name, and they're putting their family members in position to run things that really don't have any business running things. So if you think about it in that concept, what would you do if it was your child situation? Like, what would you do? Because you're trying to build something for them. Would you have a say in them actually getting into where they are? But I want you to know your opinions as well, because that's just our opinions. This show is a live show, so definitely go ahead and call in the show. Let us know your thoughts. We definitely want to know them. So definitely call in, let us know your thoughts, and we would love to hear it first and foremost. So I just want to make sure that y'all know that there's a call in link at the bottom. So go ahead and let us know your thoughts for
Yeah,
this
it
show.
happens, man. It happens every day, man. How many times you been working at this tech company or whatever, and new management comes in, and next thing you know, it's like one or two other people that just pops in as well at the same time. You're like, what in the world happened? Yeah, they
Yeah.
brought their friends in.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It
Exactly.
ain't no fun unless we all get some. Okay, they brought their friends in, and that's just what happens. It's a part of the game, and so ultimately, as we move into these spaces, as you go into management and stuff like that, it's probably gonna happen. You're gonna probably do it. Hey, girl, can you get me? Can you get me in? I've been trying to get. I got you. And then what you do, that's what it is. What it is. It's just I think some people when it gets to higher levels and stuff like that, they see it differently. We've been
Yeah.
doing it. It's been
Been
happening.
doing it, been seeing it, been doing it. Absolutely. And some people are invited to the party, and some people like to bum rush the party. And one of the things that I saw a bum rush coming in was Amazon trying to get into this $4 trillion race with Nvidia, with Apple, with Microsoft. It's a fun day to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Trey, new addition to the $4 trillion race. We talked about it last week, but now we have Amazon cracking something up and making things move
Man,
around.
old Bezos, man, he wasn't trying to have that. He probably funneled in some cash from his personal account so he can get the so he can get their market cap up. No, I'm playing, I'm playing. But basically, y'all, Amazon, they reached $2 trillion market cap for the first time, right? Surprisingly, right after they were just talking about Nvidia and everybody. But yeah, so basically, that happened for the first time on last Wednesday. That milestone, it actually put Amazon, like, it put them in the league. Okay, so now they're up there with Nvidia, Apple, uh, Microsoft, and Alphabet, aka Google, and all of which have crossed over 2 trillion. And remember, they're on the race to that coveted $4 trillion mark that they're trying to get to. So Amazon shares, they've seen a 27 6.5% surge so far this year. So if you've been in on that, you've been seeing some gains, right on the
Hmm.
stock side, which they reached 1 trillion in 2020. So over those last 4 years, they've doubled up. Okay, so it's not bad, not bad. This growth, it took Amazon more than 4 years to achieve, with the first time hitting that. They actually hit a trillion before, so they hit a trillion in 2018, um, and so now they've doubled up. And so yeah, right now that's what they're looking at. They're just looking to kind of put their names in the hat, right? Who knows what they can do with that, and if they can reach Nvidia, because I don't know if anybody can, to be honest, with what they have down the pipe, and what they're in the business of. I went back and did some like little digging and research, like more than that, because not very many people know what really goes on with them. And so even myself, so I had to just try and look. uh Man, they are primed and ready for this AI, everything that's coming towards AI. Like, they they've been in the game, they've been ready. I don't know. Yeah, they they're probably gonna do it, y'all.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I would be betting on Nvidia to actually do it, and I think they are. But anyways, yeah, that's where we are, man. Amazon is just trying to get in the game. They're trying to get their hat in there, trying to stay relevant, and so they've made a big push for the first time on Wednesday, hitting that 2 trillion.
Yeah, and shout out to Prince joining us on IG. Thank you for stopping by. We definitely appreciate you. But yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, it is something that I won't say is surprising to see Amazon join this race. Obviously, they're one of those behemoth companies as well. Uh, AWS does so much business and services throughout the board. So I'm not surprised that they're gonna have something up their sleeve. But like you said, Nvidia is prime and ready with that chip game. I think there's somebody, I think I mentioned it last week, where somebody that they knew said, "Hey, invest in Nvidia," when it just like was coming out. We just saw the stock surge pretty much as well this entire year, but especially last week. And people, he was kicking himself in the butt. He was like, "Man, I didn't do it when it was nice and affordable to do so. I would have reaped a nice benefit." But that's sometimes why we have these shows to keep an eye on what's going on, especially
Yeah.
for things that are emerging. But this is
uh,
Nvidia has emerged, and they are emerging even more with the humanoid
Now,
robot, all those other
whoever
stuff.
that was, though, just let them know it's not too late. No,
Not too late. Not too late. There's
nah,
more growth to happen.
they got a whole lot of room, man.
Yeah.
Definitely look into them. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, listen, y'all. There's still more room to grow. Again, they're getting to that 4T. So if you got some money to spare, I'm not this is not stock advice, by the way. This is just us chatting, having a good old time talking about this. But looks interesting. Let's just say it like that. Um, and the question I wanted to ask y'all, since y'all are with joining us for this conversation, is do you think that Amazon could disrupt this $4 trillion race? I kind of heard your response already, Trey. But I wanted to just
Hmm.
post that to the community. What are your thoughts on that? Could it disrupt this race?
Yeah, that's literally yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't personally, I don't personally think so.
Yeah,
I think they, hey, let me jump in on this news. Not really, obviously, it doesn't work like that, but you know, um, it's just one of those things. Like, hey, we're in here as well, and we're making noise. Now, don't get it twisted. 2 trillion, that's it's crazy.
yeah,
Again, trillions is crazy as a business, but um, I just think, I don't know. I think the others have the upper hand, especially Nvidia. So I mean, unless something catastrophic happens, um, or maybe, I don't know, maybe AWS, maybe they get some kind of big crazy um, government deals and stuff. I don't know. I can't see it happening. I really
yeah,
can't. But I mean, they're up there though. Don't get me wrong.
yeah. They're
Great,
definitely
great
up
company.
there. Yeah, it's a lot of things to consider when talking about this subject matter. And y'all, we're gonna definitely make sure that we try to keep you abreast about this and more as we continue on today's topics. But Hey, we got to stop and go to the presses, which is the bulletin board. We got the bulletin board in the building. And as always, this will be very quick, but I'm going to read the disclaimer that we have, which is a segment was powered by Black Tech Global, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. Visit blacktechglobal.com for more. And like I said earlier in the show, I actually did attend an event that they had recently, which was Afrotech Executives here in New Jersey, and it was a good old time. So listen, y'all, especially if the event is free, which that event wasn't, but if it's free and it's in your neck of the woods, I would definitely encourage you to check it out if it's something that interests you. So, like always, we're gonna do this nice and quick. I'm gonna just point out a couple events, and then you can go to the website for the rest. So, first event that I have here is Tech for the Culture, Black Back Talk and Tech for the Culture. This is happening actually this Wednesday, July 3rd at 6 and 9 p.m. This is going to be in Houston, Texas. So as you can see here, it's a barbecue, happy hour, games. Doors open at 6 p.m. And it should be a fun time. Definitely look into it as the admission is free for that. So you want to look into that. Cost $0. Can't beat that. So definitely check that out if you are looking to get into an event in Houston. Now, there's another event that's coming up too, Power Networking Conference. That event is actually coming up pretty soon. So if you are in the area of Charlotte, North Carolina, you definitely want to check this out. It's going to be from July 10th to the 13th. So that's next week. But it is a little pricey. I'm not going to lie. It's a conference. So definitely want to check in with that. You can register there. If this is something that, again, that interests you, and you can see all the people that are participating or speaking at the event. There's going to be a few people, quite a few people. So definitely look into that for yourself. It does cost a pretty penny, though, as you might check out when you register, over eight G's for this one. But definitely go ahead, and if you're interested in checking into that, go ahead and check it out for yourself. Then we have, I think it's eight. Actually, I think I'll add another zero. I think it's 800. Sorry, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely check it out.
I
Yeah, just
was like,
check
eight
it out.
G's.
I had an extra zero, people. I'm sorry, but
I'm like,
yeah,
it's some man, there's some power in there.
yeah, I love that. There's some power in there for sure. But yeah, definitely check that out if you're interested. Dark mode. This actually sales have ended for this, but if you have, I just want to make sure you're familiar with this one. This is actually that happened in North Carolina. This one was a free event, but if you are interested or have registered for that, congrats to you. We definitely have another one in Dallas, Texas. So in the Trey's neck of the woods, we have the Mixer Cloud that is happening as well. That's 20 to 30 bucks, and that's going to be happening in the Village, Dallas, from July 11th. So you have some time from 6 to 10:30 p.m. And as you can see, all the smiling faces, looks like a nice venue as well. So definitely check that out if you want to cool down from the hot temperature. You can stop it there. We have BlurCon. Now, this is a little bit different from the other events that we normally would show, but this is a fun event. Why? Because it's like it's like a Comic Con. And so
Oh,
you want to
snap.
check that out. If you're definitely interested in Comic Con, there's some people that are going to be there. We have Digging Up Them Holes, the brother from that show, movie from back in the day. I forgot his name, but there's a few other guests that you're going to see there. Uh, there's a lot of things to do as well. It's going to be in Arlington, Virginia, and the cost for the event is roughly around 80 bucks. So if you are interested, definitely check out everything they have going on. You can purchase
So
a badge here, and as you can see, from the wardrobe, people are going in
oh
with their
oh
costumes.
yeah, they all out with it. Are you talking about Shia LaBeouf or Cleo Thomas? Which one?
His partner,
The light
the
skin?
short one, the short brother that was
Okay.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that makes sense. I think Cleo Thomas, I think he's been big on the gaming side and stuff like that. So that makes sense. Like
yeah,
he's on that side. Okay.
yeah. So definitely check that out. Maurice in the building. Good morning, Maurice. Stop the
Hey,
presses.
good
Good
morning.
morning. So glad to see you stop with us. Appreciate that. So yeah, definitely check out BlurCon if this is your thing. This is happening again July 12th to the 14th. And that is pretty much it. I mean, we talked about everything here with the Power Networking Conference. And so definitely check in with everything. Actually, I think the Power Networking Conference around 767. So looking over, that's pretty much the events that we have. But don't worry, there's more. Just go to blacktechglobal.com for more, your premier source for tech events coming up. So that is it for that segment. And man, I tell you, I'm not really a car person to say, but when I
Hmm.
saw this, I was like, I think people might be interested in this conversation because it's not a normal car. This is a special car, and just to kind of give some clarity, recently, my wife unfortunately had a car accident. Thankfully she was okay. And then while our car was getting fixed, we had a hybrid minivan because we roll in minivans now. No other option for us because of our
Yeah.
large tribe. But it was pretty cool. Save some money on gas. I was like, I like this. But would you pay $4 million for a hybrid? And Trey, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit more about that.
That is crazy, bro. 4M's is crazy. But like you mentioned, this car that you were talking about, a Bugatti. That's I mean, who else is gonna do it, right? I think I can't remember how many years ago, but they broke the world with the $1 million car. Obviously not the only one, but they were the ones who were out in the forefront as far as being out in the 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 stratosphere of people talking about it, right? So now they've quadrupled up, and now they have the $4 million car. All right, this is Bugatti's Tourbillon, and it is the first plug-in hybrid car from them. So this Tourbillon, though, I mean, you got 1,800 horsepower. I'm probably sure I can get 1,800 horsepower for less than 4 million. It's a V16 engine. I don't know how to make them. I know of some V12s. I might just go with that. It's less than 4 million. And then listen, there's only 250 of them made. So obviously, this was made for a certain individual. Actually, 250 of those individuals. And yeah, we'll see them somewhere, right? Like, but I don't know if they'll be for the regular average person out here on the daily. I don't know if we'll ever, just see it like that driving, just by it being only 250 made. So this Tourbillon, it has a 1,800 horsepower, like I mentioned, but the car can travel up to 60 kilometers on electric power before switching to the gas, which who knows? It probably only goes 15 miles anyways. But I mean, you probably can only put 10 or 15 in the tank. But I don't even know how many. What is kilometers, y'all? As far as how far is that? Yeah, I'm in the U.S. Okay, so I don't really know.
Let us know
Uh,
in the chat.
yeah, but anyways, it can only go up to 60 kilometers on electric power. And then let me see, the interior design, with this tourbillon, they paid homage to old-fashioned machinery with while incorporating some modern features like the Apple CarPlay. I don't want that. Like, if I'm paying 4 million, don't give me nothing old. I need, matter of fact, push me 17 years into the future, okay? Like, I want to step in that thing and be like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna have this for years. But anyway, yeah, they went with the old fashioned machinery for the interior. And so yeah, the maximum speed is 445 kilometers per hour. Again, I'm not sure on that, but on what that is, but whatever. And then that offers a unique driving experience. So the craziest part about this is the $4 million price tag. Again,
Yeah.
this is made for a specific individual who wants something that nobody else has. And so yeah, 250 of them made, y'all. A little tech in there, a little old fashioned machinery in there. Um, Good luck to somebody. I don't know. Even if I had it, I don't think I would go for that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the car. Definitely not fit my family. And I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to think about it in the sense of, okay, if I had the money, if I had
Yeah.
multiple billions of dollars, because you're not buying this,
Hmm.
but you're not trying to be a millionaire trying to rock with this unless you like high up there and you just want to flex. But I'm gonna go to chat because Crystal's like, yeah, that's crazy. Even if I had it,
Yeah.
and I said, LOL. Like I kind of totally agree with that. Like I'm like, not really feeling that myself, personally. If I had the money, I probably wouldn't get it. Just knowing who I am. right now as I think. But money could change a person, so you never know. But I think like if you got a Bugatti, do you really care about the environment like that? Are you really
Of
like
course not.
are you really like thinking about that? I think it's just a flex, honestly. I think it's just a flex, y'all. So personally, I would not get it for myself. But what y'all say in the chat? I know Crystal said already. She's like, I ain't rocking with that. Tokes, I see you, D07. She's like, Tokes is like right. You know, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
If you had the money, let's just be specific now. If
yeah,
you had the money,
yeah.
would you actually buy this car? If you could afford it, it wasn't an issue. You got money in the bank, y'all. Would you buy this car?
Mm, I don't think so. I'll be honest. There are others that I would take part in before that one. Okay.
Narcissistic, Crystal says. Narcissistic. I mean, hey, listen, I yeah,
If you
you would
like
have
it,
to, and
then
maybe
it is what it is.
yeah, if you like it, if you can afford it, that's the thing. But I don't know. It's just not me. That's the way I put it. It's just not me. But like, listen, if you would buy this car, let us know in the chat. We'll bring him, bring you in. Ori said, "Count me out." Ori said, "Count me out." Not even thinking about it. If I had the money, it would be a negative. Toke said, "Better fly at that amount of money."
No, hey,
Those wings better do other things and just open up.
you talking my language right there. I need to be able to go in the water and in the air. Okay,
You make it
like
amphibious,
for
yes.
real. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
yo, this is also a submarine. Okay, cool, cool. Now we talking.
yeah. No, that's hilarious though. Trey, Tech said, "Nope, I'm putting that on more Nvidia." That's right, Nvidia stocks at that point.
Now
Uh,
that's how you do it.
yeah, he's like, "I'd
You
rather do something else."
let that stock buy it. Then now you playing a different game. Okay, now that's a
Yeah,
different game.
yeah, absolutely. And I think other people agree. Like I think some people like, hey, listen, I'll be a little bit wiser with the decisions that I would make with that kind of cash, at hand. Oh man. So last week there was a controversy regarding 3 in-demand jobs. But before I even get that, I want to say just thank you to the chat. Thank you to everybody who's watching the show, whether you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're watching from. We just want to take a pause and say thank you because we appreciate
Appreciate
y'all.
y'all.
Always
Appreciate
appreciate y'all.
y'all.
The show ain't nothing without y'all. So I want to make sure that is firm and planted in everyone's mind. But
Yeah.
remember last week, there was 3 controversial jobs we were talking about. And why it was controversial? Because people were saying, especially Tech Coach Ralph, who's not here today, was saying like, yeah, that is BS. There's other jobs that should be a part of this conversation, which I agree. Do anybody remember what those jobs are? I'm going to quiz people. If you were here last week, what was one of the jobs that we talked about in that conversation? And go ahead and put in the chat. I'll wait a little bit as you do that, but there was a couple different jobs that we're talking about. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different today. We're going to talk about a different topic, but last week we are talking about 3 remote jobs. And again, let me see what the comment sections told us. It was product manager. That's right. Product
Yes.
management was
Yes.
one of the jobs. Yeah, and as a hint from our guest here, PM.
Who did that? Who did that?
I know, right? So product management was one of the jobs there, and then they had 2 other jobs. Let me see if anybody was actually paying attention. Crystal, I know you missed last week. It's all good. It's all good. You know what? Next time I'll put some money in the game. I'll be like, that's whoever remembers it. I'm gonna give you guys like $50 or something like that. Oh, 25. 25. But yeah, so product management, that's right. Account director was another one, and business development director. Those were the basic ones. But some leaders are looking at borderless talent as
Hmm.
attractive new hires. So borderless talent, let's talk about that. Basically, companies are looking and saying that borderless tech hiring is overtaking the conversation from remote work for technology roles. Tech talent marketplaces and digitized workforce are opening up global hiring opportunities beyond traditional boundaries. Listen, that's good for y'all that are in other parts of the world, whether you're in a country in the continent of Africa, whether you're in Europe, whether you are in Australia. This is something that might be of benefit to you. Now, but just to be more specific, the trend of borderless tech hiring has doubled in the last 3 years, with tech markets in cities like Beijing and Delhi surpassing those in the U.S. hubs like San Francisco and New York. Companies like Adela and Payoneer, which yes, I know Payoneer a little bit. They definitely hire all over the world. Are actively engaging in borderless hiring, benefiting from a global talent pool. Decentralized talent platforms like Brain Trust are revolutionizing borderless work by having no physical office and employing a mostly international workforce. AI plays a vital role in shaping the future of work geographies with regulations and cross border employment trends and impacting global operations. The importance of managing risk and hiring quality individuals is stressed in the context of borderless employment. And borderless hiring has the potential to uplift communities globally and enhance talent while improving cost effectiveness. And look who's in the building. Tech coach Ralph came. He came
Yo,
right
yo,
on time because I mentioned
good
your
morning.
name. I mentioned your name, but that is a this is a very interesting topic to me because I know companies like Payoneer and others where you're like, hey, um, I'm trying to reach this XYZ person, and they basically like, yeah, that person is in Israel somewhere, right? The head of X, Y, and Z. And so you're like, okay. So who do I talk to? So like you know what I
Yeah,
mean, like because of time zones and different things like that. But that's the world. The world is a lot smaller, especially with the internet. And so, and then Crystal asks, "What a time to be in the industry." That's right. So many
facts,
doors
facts.
are opening. Absolutely. I think about it. I think it's amazing. I'm thinking specifically about somebody over here on IG. We have Prince in the building, and he's and a few other people that I've met who are all over the world who are trying to figure out, hey, how could I be, whether it's an SDR or in tech here in the States, now that's becoming a lot more accessible, which I think is
Yeah,
a great thing. Imagine you being able to do the job that you're doing here and being able to bring over that, not only that the financial impact, like they said, but the knowledge and everything else in bringing that to your community and saying, hey, we could all come in and impact this industry because there's very brilliant people around the world. And just being able to do that, I think will have a tremendous impact. But I'm going to go to you, Trey. I want to know your thoughts, and y'all put your thoughts in the comment section. I promise to bring you up. Good morning, Tech Coach Ralph. If you want to call in and talk about this, the link is there as well. So go ahead and do that. But I'm going to let Trey speak about this.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll start seeing that more and more over time, as far as like what Brain Trust has done, where hey, we don't have any physical offices, and then we have employees all over the world. So I'm pretty sure we'll start seeing that more and more coming up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what I think is interesting is that it also works both ways. Like something that came to my mind when you were going through it is I know a lady who she literally was a teacher, and yeah, when she went through all her stuff and she learned what she needed to learn, she actually got hired by a company. It was I can't remember which one it was, and it might be close. I don't know, but it was either Sweden or Poland. Like the company was located there. They hired her from here, and yeah, like she was able to go and spend her first 2 weeks over there to obviously do her orientation and stuff. But I mean, what an experience, right? Like my company is located in, like I said, it's either Poland or Sweden. I think it was Sweden though, but yeah, it's over there. I need to go learn over there. I'll have a few trips throughout the year to go over there. They allow her to I think she could take her kid or whatever the case may be. But either way, nonetheless, all I'm saying is that's borderless. Like that's saying, hey, 20 years ago, even if you did do that, it probably was upper management, upper executives, and it was a lot of flying back and forth. Whereas now, hey, I'm an employee with the company, lower managed or like under that, and I don't even have to leave my home. I can work from home here. Now, there's different time zones, but ultimately, sometimes when it's like that, those companies are looking to make a footprint in the U.S. So you still have regular times that you're trying to work and all that kind of stuff. So it works out. I mean, I think it's great. Obviously, we've been going this direction for many years. It started with us, I'm sure, like US going and handpicking best talents from everywhere else, and so now it's just open up. But it's definitely a good thing. Oh, you muted, man.
And
Okay.
I was about to say, and Tech Coach Ralph said it as well. Sounds like a lot more opportunities for people, and that's the thing that makes me excited because there's so many people that Tech Coach Ralph you speak to, or others who are different parts of the
Yeah,
world, brilliant
they hit your
people.
inbox.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're brilliant, but they don't get the opportunity like to be able to work for certain employers, and so I think that's a great point. In fact, listen, y'all, what are your thoughts on Borderless employment? Definitely put in the chat, and I wanted to highlight something while you guys are putting your answers or your thoughts in the chat. Feel free to call on too. You can call on and talk about this as well, but uh, especially if you're on YouTube, the call link is there, so definitely check that out. But I want to put up Brain Trust because I never heard about them before this. But Brain Trust is actually and it's not sponsored by them or anything. But like you
Yeah,
can see, they have areas for companies, for talent, so jobs, and they explain kind of like how it works there. So there's a way to sign up to apply, and you can see all the roles that they have. And they let you know of something specifically. This is for Latin America, which is great for people that I know of that live either in Brazil, if you live in Argentina, if you live in
mm,
Guyana, you're considered part of this as well. And so there shows you the different openings that are there, and I think this is going to be really good. BDR roles as well, different companies. This is the headquarters in Canada, but again, this is a borderless talent that they're looking for. So this might be something that people want to. Again, I'm just showing this, but you definitely want to do your research to see a little bit more, and then they explain a bit of how it works. If it's your career, you want opportunities that work for you. It basically shows you that. Let's say somebody wants to actually move to a particular company, they could actually
yeah,
look at this as an option. For example, let's just say they want to move to Colombia and they say the cost of living is better there, but their company won't allow them to do that. This might be a good opportunity for them to look and say, "Hey, I could still kind of do that."
yeah.
Good question. Is South Florida considered? I think it should be a lot of time,
I
but
mean,
honestly,
I could see that happening for sure.
yeah. And Maurice said the same thing, more opportunities. So yeah, let us know
Yeah,
in the chat. Like what do you feel about this? I personally am excited for a lot of people that could possibly benefit from this. I'm excited for those that are saying, hey, you know what? I want to actually reconfigure my life in a way. Like I've always wanted to live in XYZ area. I might look at this as an option to basically say, hey, how can I configure my life? Because I'm not saying that you should leave America, but the cost of living is a little higher. And if you want to explore the world, that's where you kind of feel that bend, that turn towards this might be something to look into. And I'm pretty sure that other websites like this, other resources like this, but this is just the one that was highlighted in the research that we did for this. But yeah, and then let's see what Crystal says here. Crystal says, Tokes put fire emojis on IG, so he's like fire. I like this
yeah.
idea.
No, for
Crystal
real.
said, yeah, Kristen says, love it. I'm ready to explore. No, this is really
Like
cool.
you do this, you can really you can really be Jerome from Martin, the player from the Himalayas. Like you can really do that now. Okay, nah, nah.
That's hilarious. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh snap! I just kind of realized it. Tokes 307 on Instagram says, glad you're talking about this. Had the convo yesterday. Oh, nice. So you see, this is something that people are talking about already. As you can see, there's companies here that are already kind of looking into this that
Yeah,
use this service. But as you can see, some people have already been hired. Somebody from Nigeria was hired as a front end engineer. Oh, this is going to level the playing field for sure. Tech Coach Ralph said, I said, Jerome in the house.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Then but look at this. Somebody from Lagos web software engineer. Like this is the things that I'm talking about. Just people illustrated from South Korea, and this is going to already expand what has already been opened up here. Senior
Yeah,
product
that's
direct
pretty solid.
designer, and again, this is somebody from the U.S. being hired internationally too. So let's say that your hours are one where you're like, hey, I have a family. I rather work later in the day, have more hours in the morning time, whatever. Like you could shift your whole schedule based off of where you work and things of that nature. So this is gonna be very impressive in regards to what it will do to the job market going forward. But listen, y'all, I definitely want your thoughts on this, and so I appreciate you guys commenting and sharing your thoughts. This has been great, and I would love to hear your feedback. So go ahead and put in the chat. Feel free to jump on the call if you have any other thoughts about this. But yeah, this is pretty much what I thought would be really helpful for borderless employment, just to kind of see that growth there. And listen, y'all, go ahead and
Yeah, that
check it
was
out for
good.
yourself. I wouldn't say I'm again. We're not endorsing this particular company. I have to do research myself more on this particular company, but I thought it'd be good to share since it was in our research. But yes, definitely check that out. And listen, y'all, this might be a shorter show than before, but we not finna be with you long. We just want to give you that
Yeah,
good stuff, and then be that you go on your way. So right
be
now
on the
we
way.
have that show within a show, and I'm gonna pass it back to my brother Trey for the Brown Box Special.
Yeah, no filibustering here. Okay, this is the Brown Box Special. And listen, we got one for you today. All right, so here's the thing. Here's what the story entails. It says, I used to work as a slot machine attendant at a casino. Every now and then, a coworker would start stealing tips. Tip money was shared by all department employees, so they were literally taking money out of our pockets. In my 5 years, I saw three get busted and heard a few others. So here's what they would do: they all would hide $10 or $20 at a time, and surveillance always caught them. Surveillance would notify get the gaming regulators, and in my state, they were highway patrol officers on gaming assignment. So gaming would order a constant monitor, which meant for the entire shift that employee was recorded. And then basically, surveillance and gaming, would allow that employee to keep stealing money until the grand total reached in excess of $500, which was a state felony. So every time gaming would call the manager on duty and security, they let the employee count into their bank, and as soon as they were on the floor working, they would come in, place that person under arrest in front of the coworkers and customers, and walk them out through the casino floor in handcuffs. It was meant to be a lesson for us, but I couldn't imagine the shame and embarrassment of being called out as a thief and liar in front of my friends. The look of hate those people got were awful.
Mm, mm,
Listen,
mm, mm.
that's a if you can't do the crime, can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay.
Don't do the time.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not condoning this. I'm just saying, what if they never got to the 500?
They
Like,
stopped at 4.99. It said, "Whoop,
obviously, I'm not condoning. I'm
access
just saying. but
Uh,
but no, I mean that is interesting.
yeah, imagine somebody be like, "Listen, I'm gonna stop at 4.90. Not a
Yeah,
second too much. And I'm out." Or he says, "Some people do not think." Takeout Ralph says,
they
"Lock
don't.
them up." LOL.
Nah, for real.
Uh,
Get them out of here.
Taking people's tips, man. That's fighting words right there. I wouldn't even think that.
It's especially for people that when you share them. I always don't like the idea anyway, but when you're sharing them, man,
Yeah,
I'd
that's
be mad at you.
uh, the walk of shame. They pulling you out, and then everybody's like, "Get him out of here!" And
Yeah,
Texas Strauss says, "Nah, if they think they're getting away with it, they're gonna keep going. They
and
never
that's the
know."
thing.
Mm. If you think about the environment too, it's addictive. They're like, oh man,
Yeah,
I'm getting some wins here.
they ain't missing this little stinking 20, this little funky 10. They not missing, and then they don't realize they just keep going. They just
Yeah,
keep going. Right?
yeah.
What's the song say? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them,
Hold them. That's right. Reese says, LOL. She
know
says,
when to
shame,
walk away.
shame, shame, shame. Yeah, nah, I think, hey, listen, man, stealing on all degrees is wrong.
Yeah,
It's just the sting of it a little bit more when you're stealing from your coworkers. There's
yeah,
no
man.
remorse for that.
That
Um,
ain't cool. That's why I don't. I'm not even going. I'm not even gonna hold you, man. I do not. I don't know. Unless somebody needs to tell me, or maybe give me a different enlightenment. I don't like the idea when they have to share the tips. So even myself, when we're out at restaurants and stuff, I always ask. I'm like, hey, do y'all share these? If they do, then I just don't put it on my ticket. Write it in on the card. I just give them the cash, man, because I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the idea.
well,
Um,
that's a good question. Listen, y'all know any reasons why tips are shared? And if so, put in the chat. I'm curious because I felt that way too. I'm like, listen, not everybody served me, and actually that guy over there, he's been on a lot of smoke breaks since I just been eating this one meal.
exactly.
So uh, is there a way I can just give it to you? No, I totally feel that. Taco Drow says that Jesus said, "Don't get caught."
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
uh,
Don't even do it.
Yeah, don't even do it so you don't get caught. But let's know in the chat because I'm really curious about that. Seco Rouse says, "What about the cook and the other guy who brings the food to the table and the person who sat you down?" That
Do they
is,
get paid more? I
hmm,
don't know.
I see that. So that's the reason why for the shared tip
Is that
idea.
why they do
Okay,
it?
let's see. Crystal says, "Yeah, that they need to remove that fine print at restaurants because that's lame. That's lame." And what about the guy who cleans out the table in the dishwasher? I mean, listen.
Mm,
I mean, they work hard too.
do
So
they share in it? If they
that's,
share in it, I'll switch it up. But if they don't, they signed up for the role.
I know Mitch is all
Like
about the data. So I want to see what Mitch's thoughts are on this, but that's a good point.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Crystal. I thought they get paid a little more for being back there, but ultimately I would say, yeah, if they all sharing it and like even the cooks and even the all of them, okay, that's different. But ultimately, if they don't and it's just the waiters, they signed up for the other roles, so they knew what that entailed. Um,
mm,
but I don't know if that's the case. I'll switch it up. I ain't gonna. I mean, I didn't have any reason not to. I just prefer the person who served me. I prefer to give it to them. But like that's why we asked though. So appreciate the enlightenment.
yeah, Reese actually puts a little bit more of a light on this as well. She says tips are shared because the playing field is not even for all servers. So
Mm,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a
that
good
makes
point.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense because I know I would say I could believe that. I ain't gonna even, man. Listen, have y'all ever been to? I don't know if they're everywhere. Cracker Barrels is Cracker Barrels everywhere. It's a little
Yeah, a lot of
It's a
places.
little interest. It's a little interesting when you walk in, but the pancakes with the crispy edges.
Ooh.
I keep going. Okay, I keep going. I'm like, look, I know I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, but I need these pancakes right here. But I said that to say this. Uh, I seen on the aprons, man, they got these stars, and I'm like, please, I need that 4-star person. Okay, I need the 4-star person.
Oh yeah.
So
So
I don't. I can see how that it's not an even playing field because I'm wanting the 4-star, and if you walk around with the one, you probably it's probably other people who saying the same thing that I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, okay, I can see it's not an even playing field.
mm,
Uh,
give me the 4-star general, please. That one right there in the corner. It's been there for a
yeah,
while.
I need her.
Oh yeah, Reese said, especially high end when it comes to sharing tips. Reese also mentioned I have not been in the Cracker Barrel for years. And Deco's Route says they got a lot of them in South Florida, but haven't been there maybe 15 years. Oh, wait a second. Crystal's like, she's like, ah, yeah. I don't know. She don't like the crispy edge pancakes. What's wrong, Crystal? What's going on?
Hey, the pancakes with the crispy edges, man. That's different.
It's different. It just tastes different. It hits different.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now the feeling I get when I'm sitting down in there is a little bit.
You see, Tickles Brown said, "See, Trey is part of the problem. That one start trying to build experience and you hating. The one start trying
Oh
to build
no,
experience,
man!
trying to build character."
Listen, look, man. It's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes I let it slide, but most of the time, I'm like, hey, give me that 4-star person, man. Look, I don't need you testing on me, okay? it's
I
it's just
appreciate.
like my barber, man. I'll be honest. I feel for you when you're a new barber, but I don't need you testing on me, man. I can't come out of there with the edge up looking like this.
Like a barbershop and take a little off the top. It's a little off the top.
Oh man, no.
Got a hole in the center. Crystal said the food is good, but I feel like a slave on break.
Man, hey, Crystal, I know what you're saying,
I know what
but
you're
that's
saying.
why. Hey,
That's what I'm
when I'm
saying.
in there, this is how I'm eating. I'm like,
The pancakes. Focus on the pancakes, the crispy edges.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Tech Coach Ralph says, yeah, but if they do a trash job, I don't know if I brought this up before. He said they do a trash job, nobody gets a tip, and they can all blame the person who did a bad job. In
Yeah.
regards. Oh man, and this is as we're winding down here. He also mentioned, hey
Oh,
Trey, when you get in that Florida
yeah.
Panthers world champ hat.
Never. No. Man, listen. No. Oh no, I didn't see it. If it's fire, then I'll get it. Like, I don't. I'm a even playing field when it comes to these sports teams, man. I can't put stock in them. Hey, I'll rock anything, but I need to see it. I need to see it. If it's fire, is it fire?
Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking it up right now. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, but I mean the Panther looks cool. Let me see. Panther. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it real quickly. Championship hat. Because it's really that's on championship belt.
He said he just saying they champs. Haven't even came out yet. I mean,
I think
that's
so.
funny.
Yeah, they had a day of. You know, like when they after the team
Oh yeah,
wins,
they
they have
normally
it.
yeah they do, yeah.
Yeah,
Straight up.
so Florida Panther championship hat. Let's see if it found it. Okay, I mean, I think you will rock it. I'm going to share this tab. Let me know what you think about it. I'm pulling up on the screen right now. But and then we're gonna be out our way. But yeah, I think you would rock this. Right? What would you say to that? That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's a heat. That's heat. Little two-tone gray joint.
Yeah.
I will say, it's Dallas Stars over here, but they won, so I'm not hating. I'm just saying. I would actually rock that. Yeah, that's a fire hat.
Yeah, no. I think it has something to it. I like it. But yeah,
I
man,
was I
thank you.
was just saying I need to get a hockey jersey anyways. I like the way they fit, man. I need a hockey jersey.
Hey, it's still got time. You still got time. But listen, y'all, this has been great. Preston, thank you so much for rocking with us as well on the show. Man, this has been great conversation. We really appreciate you all for coming through. And like always, let's do the formality stuff. Subscribe if you have not to the channel. Go ahead, you'll see the link drop there by our Nightbot. And don't get scared by Nightbot. They're just there to let us know what's going on. And y'all are doing a great job. Thank you so much, Oris, for the comments and everybody else that has participated. This has been a blast. And so I appreciate that. Crystal said, where do you keep up with tech events in DFW? I would say Black Tech
Just
Global.
Yep. Go to blacktechglobal.com.
Yep.
Man, they're gonna have it all on there for you. And don't forget, unless you weren't here, Crystal, is you got one coming up in I know you said DFW, but Houston, they have Bag Talk, and then also this month on July 11th, they have the Mixer Cloud in Dallas for $25. And then later on in the month, which it wasn't for this week, but later on in the month, there's another one coming up as well for, I think it's over 100 right now, but yeah. So just go there, basically.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. A lot there for sure. Subscribe to the podcast if you have not already. Thank you, Nightbot, for reminding me. But definitely subscribe to the show. We definitely appreciate you doing that. If you subscribe, like all those different fun stuff, it actually helps the show to get exposure, to go out there. So definitely check it out. Yeah, check it out for sure. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's not just tech events too. There's business events in there as well. So there's a mixture of things depending on what your interests are. Especially I know Tech Coach Ralph is into business as well. A few other people here. So check it out. There's different events there. A lot of them are free. And that's a cool thing about it too. But yes, y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us on Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace and elbow grease.